How's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. So I want to go over how I specifically pack my packs, and I've kind of evolved this over years and years and years of time, out in environments that aren't exactly the greatest, like rain, water, sleet, snow, wind, all this stuff. And I've really kind of came to a mindset of how I prefer to pack my pack efficiently, effectively, for quick and easy use, and to protect yourself from those environmentals that I just discussed. So now the bag doesn't really matter too much. A lot of people get hung up on the bag, like, oh, I gotta have like a specialty specific bag. Can a bag help? Yes, but ultimately, if you are doing whatever, like, it doesn't matter if you're going on vacation, if you're going hiking, if you're going camping. This is my bug out bag, your Minuteman kit, whatever it is, you want to keep water out of this pack. But ultimately, eventually, water's gonna get in there. It's gonna happen when it's raining, snowing, whatever it is. So how do you minimize that? Because the hardest part is eliminating it completely, but there is some pretty smart ways to do it, and that is layering your gear. Now, specifically, I'm gonna dive into this, and I'm gonna show you a bunch of stuff that I used in the past that didn't work, and the stuff that did work for me. So, first off, when it comes to sealing up your packs, now a lot of people will use, let's see, here down on the side, I still use Ziploc bags, which is down here on the side. This is my trauma kit. And I replace this Ziploc bag probably about every six months roughly, because they do puncture and they do wear out over time. But it depends on what other bags and whatnot you use. So I like roll top, bags to keep specifically water out. Now this one, as you can see, which I'll discuss here in a minute, there's a bunch of air in here, and that's a pain. The air that you have in your bag can be good and bad at times. Good if you're crossing amount of water and you want your stuff to be buoyant, but bad in the essence of you trying to condense all this gear into a pack when half of that volume is air, which could be, more gear items or less gear items compressed. So with that, I have stuff set up in this pack that I can pretty much go around and just feel. Like, for instance, if I go over here, this is my gray electronics bag. It's roll top gray, right? So this is my Mac sack right here. I can feel the texture of it, and I know it's towards the front of my pack. So if I pull this out, here's that. This is a Mac sack. I'll get to this here in a second. I'm gonna talk about all these. But my point that I'm making is, once you seal your stuff in bags, you can either color combination, right? Okay, cool, this one's gray. There's another one that's blue. There's another, here's my blue one. There's more stuff in here all over the place. Here's my poncho. So now you have color combination that you can do. So I know, hey, go grab my green bag if you're asking someone else. But you're also eliminating the water out of this stuff and friction points. So this stuff easily moves together. Now you can just easily pull stuff out. Like if I'm putting stuff in here, back again, put my stuff in, put it in specifically where it is, I can easily pull out my pack because there's not friction. You don't have stuff crammed all in there and you're pulling stuff out, which these packs or bags allow you to do. So, like I was talking about, water into your pack, you're gonna get it. But roll tops, like specifically these outdoor research bags, are really good. Now, I have used these quite a bit, but the ones that I specifically prefer nowadays are gonna be ones with vents on them. This is a Mac sack right here. They use this in the Marine Corps, and it is a one-way valve. So after you seal it up and really compress it, all the air can come out. You don't need a vacuum cleaner or anything like that with it. It just works. You compress it down. So here's an older outdoor research one, and like I was talking about, all this air gets trapped. There's nothing in here, but after you seal it up, now you have this excess air inside. Now, Snug Pack also makes these valved ones. I really like these. These are kind of starting to be harder to find. I don't know if they discontinued this pack or not, but you can pop this and get all the air out of it and then reseal it. So it's good for water and air. I use these quite a bit. That's what my main sleep system is in the bottom, is specifically the Snug Pack one. And these are all extremely lightweight too. They're not heavy. You know, you don't have to worry about adding a whole bunch of gear or other stuff like that, or weight as in bags, which I did a whole video on. If you like, you know, Kevlar or, you know, fabric-based bags, they're extremely heavy. If you go to something thin like this, it cuts down your weight immensely. So one of the stories that I mainly messed up on, the mistake that I made, was I was 19 years old and I got deployed to Afghanistan, and I had all my stuff packed, and go figure, I flew into, you know, an unknown country. I've never been there before. And as soon as I got off the plane, which is a military aircraft, it's not like you have a terminal and all this stuff. You're right out on the tarmac. It was pouring rain. And I did not seal my clothing or any of my gear in bags. Now it's funny because I already knew about this trick, because I already had 250 nights plus of hiking by the time I was 19, because I'm an Eagle Scout, so I did a lot of camping. I mean, a lot. And I'd use this method reasonably with Ziplocs a lot. But for some reason, I made that mistake going to a different country. I'm like, I don't need to do that. Definitely needed to. And that really solidified my mindset of, hey, this needs to work. And then, of course, over the years of me being out here in the backcountry, I mean, we're probably about 65 miles from any smaller town right now, and staying the night, enjoying it, and stuff like that. But if something happens, your stuff gets wet, that's on you. You're gonna figure out how to dry that stuff up. Can you dry it out? Of course. But if you're progressing, you're hiking, or you're trying to meet deadlines, you don't want to be hindered by wet and soggy gear, especially if it's cold outside. Then hypothermia and all that other stuff, especially when you try to go to sleep, your sleeping bag's soaking wet and it's super cold outside. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have a miserable night, or you're gonna die. So, in general, I pack my items, like I said, in these roll tops. Now, the benefit too, even if you press all the air out of these, you're still gonna have some air in it. So your stuff is still gonna be reasonably buoyant. You can kind of toss your pack into, you know, a lake or a stream or something, and it's not gonna sink to the bottom because you've compressed or, you know, compartmentalized air pockets within it. So this is specifically what I use. In general, it's nothing too fancy, but it just works. Legitimately real world. I've been using this system for years, and if it didn't work, I wouldn't be using it. That's just me though. But that's how I use it. So pack your gear accordingly, you know, and then it also allows organization. Hey, I know what's in the green pack. I know what's in the blue pack, stuff like that. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, want to see more, definitely like, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Even possibly committing to donations if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. This is just free content I'm putting out there, just based on my real world experience that I have used this gear. Maybe it might be helpful, maybe it won't be. But like I said, PayPal, Patreon if you want to. But other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Ouch. Okay.